This week, I got an email from a software provider that we use in our business talking about these great new AI-powered features that they're adding into the software. And I sat there and read through the entire thing. And of course, when you get to the end, they also talk about how they're going to be increasing the price because of all these great new features that I'm going to be honest, I'm probably not going to use. Right now, it feels like AI is everywhere and in everything and continually being shoved down our throats. So let's have a little bit of an honest conversation about this. And what does this mean for small businesses? Do we use AI? Do we not use AI? Is it good? Is it bad? Where do we land? And how do we make sure we protect what makes us really different as small businesses? Hi everyone, if you don't know me, I'm Jamie Trull, CPA and financial educator, and here on this channel, I love to bring you everything you need to stay informed, organized, and profitable in your business finances, so I would absolutely love it if you would like and subscribe. Now, when talking about AI, people have feelings. I know that they do. I have feelings as well. But I think one thing that is important to note when we're talking about the conversation of AI is a lot of times we're talking about these large language models because that's the newest form of AI. That is really what has caught attention in the last couple of years. Things like ChatGPT and Claude. And so a lot of times we conflate AI with just that aspect of what AI is. But AI is actually significantly broader than that, and it's been around for a really long time. Now, unfortunately, here in this video, I don't have time to give you all of my inner thoughts and slight existential crises that I go through on a pretty much weekly basis related to AI and where we're going with it. If you want to know those things, well, maybe get me a glass of wine and sit on my patio with me and we can talk about it for hours. But for the purposes of this video, we're really going to focus in on the impact to small business owners and how they can use AI, what ways might it actually be useful if you choose to use it, versus what are the things you should really steer clear from. So we're going to talk about it in a practical sense first. What can AI actually be useful in a small business for? What are the use cases that you might want to consider in your small business? And honestly, I do think that there are areas where it can be a huge, huge time saver and really help with efficiency. That, I think, is really its bread and butter. And as small business owners who are often doing all the things, or maybe have a very small staff, I think efficiency can make a huge difference. We're talking about back office functions here. So a few things that I do think that AI can be effective at are things like drafting the first draft of something. So this might be something like proposals or SOPs, and sometimes even emails, but only if you've trained it well. And I think that's really the difference in a lot of these things with effective AI use versus not effective AI use is if it's not well trained on how you do business, what your products and services are, then it's not going to be effective at those things. But if you do spend the time to really train it up, almost like it's its own employee, then you can actually get a lot of value out of it. That said, you're almost always going to have to iterate when it comes to AI. It has never gotten anything perfect on the first try. And so it takes a lot of patience sometimes to be able to go through that iteration process and get something where you need it to be. I also think it's great for summarizing things. So whether that's meeting notes or a lot of data that you have, it can really help summarize and make it make sense and take a lot of something and really boil it down. So this can be really helpful in research as well. I'm going to tell you, I'm a researcher at heart. I love to go out and research various different topics, both for business and also just for fun. I will go down a rabbit hole forever and you won't see me for a few days sometimes. I actually really like the fact that AI can really help me figure out where to concentrate my time. That said, there are a lot of watch outs here because there are times when I've been researching something, let's say maybe a new bill that Congress is passing, and I've used AI to try to help me really kind of get through the bill and figure out where the important things are, and it misses a lot. So you also have to have some base knowledge. I think that's kind of one of the places where AI can go wrong when we over rely on it. We cannot use it to replace our brains. We just need to use it as a tool to supplement what we already know. And one of the things that my team uses it for as well is really helping to summarize repetitive questions at scale. So this is something we've been working with in my customer support mailbox. I have an amazing customer support person, Danielle, who is behind every single email that comes in and is answered from our customer support email. But sometimes she would get some really specific questions, maybe about a product of ours, and it wouldn't really be in her wheelhouse to answer that, so she would have to forward that over to me. Well, one of the things that she was able to do is take lots of the different emails that I have sent out over time and put them into an AI database so that she could just query that to find what I would have said and use AI to essentially answer the same way that I would. And she's also used AI to create knowledge bases that the entire team can query if they're looking for the answer to a question. Say they're trying to figure out where in one of our products something is talked about. Well, they could utilize AI rather than having to go and search around and spend an hour trying to find something. So it's really cut down on my team's time and a lot of the tasks that they need to do, and on my time because I don't have to step in to answer as many questions as I used to. And another place that I really do think AI can be useful, and it's actually been used for this for a long time without even us realizing it, is that within a lot of software programs, you're going to find AI baked in that is going to be looking and flagging anomalies and finding errors. And AI has been used for a really long time in tools like QuickBooks Online or Xero that help to make it easier to categorize your various different transactions. And that saves time because you don't have to be the one categorizing every single one. And quick aside, while we're on the topic of accounting software, if you've been thinking about switching or maybe starting a new accounting software and you're not sure what the right fit for you is, I actually have a quiz for that. It takes under 2 minutes, and you also get access to special deals at the end. The quiz will also recommend the best fit for you based on your specific needs. So definitely go check out jamietrull.com/accounting quiz or use the QR code on the screen. Now, we just talked about some ways that AI can be useful in a small business, and specifically, I think AI is most useful in the back office. However, going too hard in the direction of AI for a small business also has some watch-outs and can get you into trouble. That's because the absolute biggest advantage we have as a small business over big business isn't supply chain or pricing or any of that. They have the advantage there. It's not branding. It is something more subtle that we sometimes forget about, and that is relationship. We have the capability of having a real relationship with our clients and customers. And that accessibility is really what sets us apart. Now, that may be you specifically, or it may be your team, but either way, small businesses are more personal. That's what people like about them. That's what keeps people often paying more than they might pay somewhere else for the same thing. It's because of the relationship. And my biggest concern for small business is that in the middle of this AI craze that's going on, where everybody feels like they don't want to miss the boat, and they're talking about all these AI millionaires that are going to be generated from this, that we forget what makes us different. We cannot and should not lose that competitive advantage by trying to over AIify everything in our business, especially things that are customer facing. And if you do decide to roll out customer facing AI features, maybe a chatbot on your website, do not use it as a replacement for people. I know there's a lot of fear right now that jobs are going to be going away because of AI. And I think that that's probably true, especially when we talk about big companies. But for small businesses, I don't see that being the opportunity. Instead, I think we can actually use AI to help make our staff more efficient and open them up to do other things that help to grow the business and are more valuable. But the problem is when AI starts as a tool and then quietly starts replacing you and the thing that makes your business different. And I'm seeing it all over the place. Customers are feeling the AI fatigue. They feel like they're being given no choice in the matter. What I find really interesting is that it seems like when we're talking about big public companies, share owners love AI. They want more AI, all the AI in the world. But customers, they don't want it. Or at least they don't want it in a way that feels like it is taking away some of the value that they're getting. AI has been around a while, but the brand image by the public is actually declining. When you think about it, even things like email spam filters are using AI. Again, this is nothing new. That's been around since the 90s. What is new is the flurry of new AI this and AI that, and all of these different products and features that nobody asked for. However, I do think this gives small businesses a unique opportunity right now, and it may not be the one you think it is. The opportunity for true small businesses in an AI world is not to go with the flow and AIify their entire business. In fact, I think it's to double down on the personal side of the business. This is going to become harder and harder to find, and people will be willing to pay a premium just to talk to a human. This is the real advantage small businesses have. You don't have share owners that are yelling for you to integrate AI and become more efficient in everything. You have customers that want you. They want to feel seen. They want to feel heard. And you can't feel seen and heard by a chatbot. And the great thing for you is that every time out in the marketplace, a customer has a bad experience or a frustrating experience with AI, they'll feel the difference even more when they're dealing with your small business. And that's why they refer you. That's why they stay customers for years. It's hard to be loyal to a large language model. So what does this actually look like in practice? The filter I would use is to think about it as automating the task, but protecting the relationship. Back office administration should be automated as much as you can, potentially using AI software. Use the time savings on the back end to free you up to be able to serve your clients better. That is where your value lives, and that is where trust is built or broken. And just as a separate word of warning, try not to outsource your thinking to AI. This is actually one of those things that does keep me up at night. And I do worry that as a species, we are starting to forget how to write ourselves, how to think for ourselves without having a chatbot talk it through with us. And this has absolutely happened to me. There are times where I've sat down to write something on my own, and it's felt like a monumental task. And this is coming from someone who wrote an entire book herself, a whole book with no AI. Thankfully, in the pre-AI world, I wrote this whole thing. And yet sometimes I struggle to put words on the page. And that makes me think about the generations that are coming up now that are utilizing AI from the get-go. They never have to sit and stare at a blank document and come up with words to fill it. That should scare us for ourselves. Don't let AI steal your ability to be creative in and of yourself. And also, like I pointed out in a video I put out a couple of weeks ago, don't let AI be your accountant. Now, like I said, I teach business owners to be informed, organized, and profitable in their business finances. But if you're not sure where to start to do this, then take our diagnostic. We've created a questionnaire that you can take in under a couple of minutes, and then it will give you a PDF diagnostic report about where you need to start when it comes to your business finances. And it's totally free. So definitely go check that out at jamietrull.com/profit path. What are your thoughts on AI? Tell me down below in the comments. What have you used it for? What are you not using it for? What are the experiences you've had as a consumer? Tell me all the things. Let's have that conversation. I think it's an important one. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.